Alright, so this video is going to be a bit longer than normal because I have something I want to talk about. And also, some of you, some of you have been commenting, please add game audio, it makes the game more interesting, but I'm sorry, I tried doing a recording before this game with game audio, sorry, and it did not work out well. Like, I could not focus at all, the music kept on distracting me. Maybe that's an excuse for why I'm so bad at the game, but nah. I'm never bad. I'm never bad at the game, and I always have steady ideas. But yeah, holy clutch! That one skeleton came in so clutch right there. But yeah, the audio kind of distracted me, so I'm not bad at the game. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to talk a little bit more was because I was on Instagram Reels, and no, Instagram Reels is not the thing I want to talk about. But it was something that I saw from Instagram Reels. So I saw a video on Instagram Reels. It had to do with gender or something. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty funny joke. But then I smelled the comments, man. I smelled the comment from a mile away because Instagram has some of the most vile people of all time, man. It's crazy. So, no canon? No, nothing? Okay. But what I wanted to say was, I think it gave up. But yeah, what I wanted to say was, I was on Instagram and I saw this one reel, and I went on the comments, and the reel had to do something about gender. So I knew for a fact that the comments would be pretty gnarly, like be a whole out gender war. So when I checked the comments, and surprise, surprise, it was just a huge out gender war, I guess. It was just men talking about how women are the most like vile, deceptive creatures of all time, and vice versa. It was women talking about how men were like the most obtuse vocab word, uncaring and absolutely horrible creatures. It's crazy, man. They were like, oh yeah, all the women I've ever known, they hate me. Like, damn, what kind of heartbreak did you go through, man? I'm sorry. But yeah, it was kind of crazy to see like the kinds of things people just, all right, I'll keep that in mind. Minor? Okay, that was a little bit of a overreaction. But yeah, it was kind of interesting to see that. And the reason why I bring that up is let's scout cycle skeletons. The reason why I bring that up is because it kind of made me realize that humans really have put a huge importance on negative impressions and first impressions. So actually, boom, let's do that. Oh, that's it would have hit the cannon and activated anyway. Oh, what a shame. It's alright. But it made me realize that humans have a really huge importance on first impressions and bad impressions. So the reason why I'm saying this is because humans, we tend to focus a lot on like first things, like something like a first kiss or first movie date or first date or first girlfriend or first I don't know, first time I ate this specific brand of pizza. People put a lot of things on first, and so why am I talking about first? Well, I'll probably I'll connect it all together later, or will I don't know. But yeah, first, people think about it a lot, man. And then not only first, but people think about negative things a lot. But what do I mean by this? Like, imagine you have one bad experience, man. You have a bad experience, it's gonna be horrible. You're gonna remember it. You're definitely gonna remember it for a while. Now, where's my proof in all this? Well, I don't really have proof, but there probably are some studies out there that talk about it. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I want to talk about was, I feel like human social interaction is kind of like food, like trying out food for the first time. Some people, the thing with food is that when you try the food for the first time, you might like it, you might not. But when you try the food for the first time, it leaves an impression. Like, if you try something for the first time and it's good, then you remember it's good. You remember that feeling of, oh man, that was some really good food back then. Or maybe it was bad, then you'd be like, oh, it'd be bad. But either way, you always remember like a first impression, man. So what's my point in saying all this? Well, sorry. I have like notes over here that I wrote on what I want to talk about for YouTube, but I sometimes go off topic and I sometimes don't follow very well. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, as I was saying, food, first impression, and also the thing about bad impressions, like if you ever eat something really bad, then that's gonna leave a better, a more stronger impression than if you eat something that was just relatively okay or relatively good. It's kind of weird. Like, if you don't really associate just your average meal of the day food with anything special, but you associate, like, you only associate food, like stuff with food, if it's either super good, bad, or very bad. Now, what am I trying to say? The thing about food, and not only just food in general, people in general, it really doesn't leave a good impression or no, a lasting impression if it's not the first, or if it's not super good, or super bad, or just bad. Now, what's the point in all that? Well, what I'm trying to say is it's kind of weird because there's such a wider range of what people consider memorable for bad. Like if it's bad through just super bad, then you're gonna remember that. But if it's something like, if it's something average or mid, you won't remember it. The only thing you'll remember is like the super good food, or you'll remember bad to super bad amounts of food. So what I'm trying to say is there is a lot more instances of people. Oh, I was dude, I always missed the log right there. But what I'm trying to say is the same thing goes for people too. Humans are also kind of like that with other. Okay, can we? Yeah, let's do this. Does he have log? Yeah, okay, let's leave that there. But humans are kind of like the two, man. Like, if we ever have, humans are like two. So what I mean by that, I'm gonna try and give an example to the best of my ability. But here's one example that I have. Is that, let's say there's a new group of like intellectual humans that can think, or intellectual organisms that can think, and they look like us, and then there's humans, all right? There's humans that look like us, and they like share the exact same characteristics as us. There's like there's like dumb people, smart people, there's mean people, there's nice people, and there's all sort of people, but they're the ratio wise they're all the exact same. The only difference is that they're blue. They're all blue, and they maybe look a bit different, but they speak the same language as us. They act the same, and their culture is relatively similar to ours, even though they might have a couple strange things about them. So I know he has logs, so hopefully we just get damage there. But here's the thing. Let's say you meet a couple, or we meet a couple blue people for the first time in our lives. And let's say for the first time we meet them, they're pretty dang rude. Now, you probably associate like this rudeness with the blue people at some point in time. Because, you realize that, oh, you associate this like badness with, that kind of group of people. And I know it seems pretty intuitive to like a lot of people, but it's something I pointed out, and I totally predicted that Tesla. But yeah, you probably associated this rudeness with pretty much all blue people, even though the characteristics, like I just said, characteristics of the blue people are the exact same as normal people. Alright, let's go for a skeleton. Oh, okay, that was bad. But yeah, even though the characteristics of the blue people are the exact same as normal people, they're going to associate all blue people from after they met the rude blue people, even though the other blue people can be nice, and you don't know. Now you probably don't know that you got like super duper unlucky, and you only met like the few really rude blue guys out there, and maybe there's some other super nice guys, and you probably be pretty mad about seeing these blue people, and you be associating this rudeness with them, unless you're like super open-minded. Are you open-minded? Alright, holy smokes. But then, unless you're a super open-minded guy, and I'll say guy because I know 100% of you guys are viewers, but I don't know, that's just kind of the power of like a first impression. And it also kind of shows, I guess it kind of shows how like important luck kind of is in life, because it's always luck to meet the right people at the right time okay, that didn't pull, but it's always luck, man. There's so much luck involved in life, I guess, and there's definitely a lot of other factors that I didn't mention okay, please don't hit. But there's definitely a lot of other factors that I didn't mention when like with impressions and stuff. Like definitely a lot of different factors, such as like I don't know how they were raised by their parents, or their location, their culture, etc., etc., etc. And I know that blue people example is pretty simplified, but that's kind of my point of view. And I don't know, it's a bit weird because it's just a bit weird how important first impressions are. I have this like pretty big importance on first impressions, because my mom, when I was raised, she was always like, first impressions are the most important things in life. But I also have like another view of like first views not being as important, because here's the thing, my dad and I always like trying out new food. And here's the thing with new food, they can be bad and they can be good. But here's the thing me and my dad do a lot. We always whenever we try food, and it tastes bad, usually we always say, oh, it's probably a fluke, and we give it another second chance. Now, was this a huge life lesson on how we should always give everyone a second chance? Maybe, maybe not. But it's just something I observed. So then my dad, he would always say, he'd always make a joke about bad food, and he would always make a joke about how like some food was kind of bad, and then to the whole family, and then the whole family would like recognize the joke, because we all remember that one really bad food that we had back then. But yeah, I guess that point also kind of shows how, ooh, evil skeletons put in the work. All right, but I guess that what I just said right now also kind of shows how like bad impressions leave a longer lasting impression. Let's see if we can get the evil skeleton to put in some absolute insane work. I know he has zap, so hopefully he doesn't use that. All right, he did use it unfortunately, but it's okay. But yeah, something I thought about. It's a bit late, and it's been like a couple hours since I first had that idea that I wanted to talk about on YouTube. But then, so my thought process and like explanation was like really blurred. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but hopefully I still got like my message across. Trying to, ooh, that hits. But hopefully I somewhat got my message across of how first impressions are pretty big. How I should give people second chances. Oh, what am I saying, man? I'm just a random guy on the internet. All right, thank you for watching.